Hey folks, welcome to CryptoSafe. If you are new here, subscribe, like, and comment to enter the giveaway. We are giving away $20 for a random person who will like this video, shares, and leaves a comment. At the end of the month, we will announce the winner. Don't forget to hit the post notifications so that you never miss out on new uploads from us. With this drill being completed, let's get started with today's video. The popularity of cryptocurrencies is growing. These are decentralized virtual or digital currencies that may be traded or spent using blockchain technology. Many of them try to improve privacy and anonymity, and whether or not they succeed is unknown. A number of these currencies allow all transactions to be seen by the public, while others make privacy optional. Others, on the other hand, make the privacy feature completely implicit. Bitcoin is usually the first cryptocurrency that comes to mind when we think of cryptocurrencies. It was one of the first of its kind, allowing users to make payments with their currencies via peer-to-peer technology. However, there is another money that has grown in popularity and acceptability owing to its privacy-focused features. Monero is the name of this cryptocurrency. Monero is a decentralized private cryptocurrency that uses the XMR token. We will explain what Monero is, how it works, and the difference between privacy and anonymity in this video. Monero is a decentralized private cryptocurrency that encrypts all three components of a transaction: the sender, the amount sent, and the receiver. Monero's currency is called XMR. Let's start by distinguishing between privacy and anonymity. You don't want anyone to know what you're doing if you have privacy. While anonymity implies that you don't mind if people know what you're doing, it also implies that you don't want them to know who's doing it. For example, privacy is when you lock the door to a restroom so that you may keep whatever is going on there secret. When you put material on the internet that can't be traced back to you in order to bring something to the public's attention, you're using anonymity. When it comes to Bitcoin, it's clear that it's not a private currency. The Bitcoin blockchain is totally open to the public, and anyone with access to the internet can see all transactions. You'll need to employ transaction mixers, VPNs, and a variety of additional measures to maintain your anonymity in Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't fully anonymous either. On the one hand, the blockchain records the number of Bitcoins sent from each address and when they were sent. On the other hand, a Bitcoin address cannot be linked to a real-life identity without extra information. As a result, Bitcoin is a pseudonym. Monero, which means coin in Esperanto, began in 2014 as a fork of Bytecoin, the first privately held cryptocurrency. The Monero system hides the sender, the receiver, and the amount sent in any Bitcoin transaction. Let's have a look at how each element is completed. When a sender signs a Monero transaction, their signature is merged with previous signatures from the Monero blockchain to hide the sender's identity. These operate as decoys, making it impossible for an outside observer to figure out who sent the transaction in the first place. Ring confidential transactions, or Ring CT for short, disguise the amount being transacted. We won't dive into the technical details of how Ring CT works, but suffice it to say that instead of broadcasting the real amount being sent, the user merely sends a small bit of information that appears to be random. This information is sufficient to verify that the money being delivered is legitimate while concealing the real amount. Lastly, we'd like to muddle up the receiver. This is accomplished by using stealth addresses. A public Monero address is a 95-character string beginning with the number 4. When we send money to that address, however, the money is routed to a different address. Here's an example of a Monero address. If we are the beneficiary, for example, payments are transmitted to a one-time stealth address derived from my public address. This establishes a barrier between my public address and the monies paid to me, preventing others from seeing my account balance. Only the recipient's private key knows they can spend funds from that one-time stealth address, and the Monero wallet will scan the blockchain for addresses it can spend to determine the true balance each time it opens. Despite the fact that all transaction data is disguised, the sender's IP address can still be traced. That's why Monero's roadmap includes a new feature called Covry. Your IP address is additionally obscured since Covry reroutes your transaction across many virtual nodes. Covry has not yet been integrated with Monero, but it is in the works.
It is in the works.
Monero transactions are untraceable and unlinkable, which means you can't know where they came from or link any two transactions together. You could be thinking to yourself, who needs a private coin? Isn't that material supposed to be reserved for criminals? While a private cryptocurrency can be very useful for criminal behavior, there are many other acceptable reasons for secrecy. With the amount of data available on blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's now easier to spot patterns, map real-life identities, connect addresses, and learn more about users' behavior. If you don't want firms to analyze your data to map out your purchasing or behavioral habits, you might want to consider utilizing a private cryptocurrency. Furthermore, because all address balances are entirely transparent, if you keep big sums of Bitcoin, you may be vulnerable to attacks. Another item to think about is market forecasting. We can track incoming transactions if we know a specific address belongs to an exchange. If we notice a huge quantity coming in, we can guess that a major sell order is on its way, and we can profitably short the currency. Such flaws would not exist in a totally perfect market. Finally, there's the question of fungibility to consider. Fungibility refers to the ability of money units to be totally interchangeable. Simply said, it shouldn't matter to you where a $20 bill originated from or when it was printed if we hand it to you. A $20 bill is simply a $20 bill, and it is interchangeable with any other $20 bill. In Bitcoin, for example, each coin can be traced all the way back to when it was first produced as a mining reward, which is known as the Coinbase transaction. So, if this Bitcoin was used for unlawful behavior somewhere along the route, you might get a visit from a law enforcement agency as part of an ongoing investigation. While this is purely speculation for the time being, given the fact that Bitcoins are 100% traceable, it might easily happen. As a result, you can see different pricing for newly created Bitcoins versus used Bitcoins. Bitcoins will have to address the fungibility issue if it is to genuinely become money. A private coin, on the other hand, has total fungibility because it cannot be tracked. Many people are interested in investing in cryptocurrencies. However, Bitcoin's popularity and price may be a deterrent. However, there are a variety of other virtual currencies that you can buy and trade that may be easier to invest in, including Monero. Monero has become a well-known cryptocurrency with a lot of privacy features, so keep a watch on it. Monero may be purchased on popular cryptocurrency exchanges such as Kraken, Poloniex, and Bitfinex. However, it's crucial to realize that the anonymity features that made Monero so attractive can also lead to severe issues, such as its usage in illegal operations. Despite the market's increase, Monero's market dominance and market worth are declining. In the last few days, the amount of XMR has also increased. Monero's volume to market cap ratio indicates a significant price rise. Monero is expected to grow rapidly in the future. On the daily chart, the XMR coin price is now in a consolidated trend. It has dropped by more than 3.8% in the last week. The price of the coin is now in a downward trend, but it may soon reverse to an upward trend. Monero's daily chart shows a downward trend in pricing. The daily chart shows the formation of a robust supply zone. A strong upward momentum can be witnessed if the price of Monero rises above $300. XMR can be invested in according to one's needs and risk tolerance. Monero is one of today's most popular decentralized private cryptocurrencies. With a solid development team and a committed fan base, it appears that dethroning Monero as the preferred cryptocurrency for private cryptocurrency transactions will be difficult. With increased government and taxation authority pressure on public blockchains, it seems only inevitable that Monero will grow in tandem with the cryptocurrency space. If you found this video informational and wish to see more of such content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and make sure to turn on the post notifications so that you always get notified whenever we post a new video. Till then, keep watching our other videos relating to cryptos. We will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!